Hi guys.
Welcome back to the James and Ori show.
James
and this is Ori's.
Indeed.
And you're welcome. This is where we analyze entertainment news around the world, mostly local, because we are local like that and we support our own.
Local boys.
And in fact, even the local now is actually international. So if you're talking about the likes of Davido, Portable and Co, these guys are actually international.
Portable is international.
Believe it.
All right.
It's also international.
No,
so I mean, but you all know what I mean. So yes, your first and hottest gist of the day is Seun Kuti has been released from detention.
Are you happy, guys?
And of course, you already know what happened. Seun slapped the policeman. I look for different ways to make that story or that that incident subtle, but I don't think I can ever deliver it or just even state it in any way safe. They say what happened. Say he collided with a policeman. What do you mean by collided? They say, they had like a confrontation. What kind of confrontation? He slapped. You slapped a policeman? Unacceptable.
It's a video of it.
Last week I was trying to remember what if it was possible to get a certain kind of what's it called, charge on. I think it was. So what it was at the time that I actually forgot was felony. It's supposed to be. Is it not supposed to be a felony kind of offense? In my head, sometimes it even came to treason. Like trying to take over the government. But man, in nowhere. Like I think if Seun was in America, or if he was American, or this happened in America, I don't think they would have released him by now. The police would have dealt. They would have. Seun would not even come out looking normal. These guys would have done a lot of harm to that person. Now let's even keep Seun, saying not Seun. Anybody that sort of raises their hand against an officer of the law will be thoroughly dealt with. But in this case, there's that whole celebrity privilege, facial recognition of saying that this is Seun Kuti, and so we did not, because and what I really used to think about uniform people, soldiers, police, naval people, I just feel like they have been trained not to stoop low or accept any form of harassment from any civilian. So I never ever imagine, no matter how smallish or how the physique of that soldier or law person, if you combat them as a civilian, as a regular guy, they are going to fight you till the end of it's supposed to even be an offense to them that a military man, a civilian slapped you and then you did not do anything. That's why I always see it or see them, perceive them. But in this case, this policeman was quite humble, timid, or just acted like he was supposed to be defenseless.
Yeah, but isn't it a little ridiculous if you saw Seun fighting with a police officer? Somebody had to be the bigger person in the picture, and in this case, it was the officer. But yeah, I just think it would be ridiculous that no matter who was going to win the fight, but to see two grown men, one celebrity, one a police officer, struggling on the third mainland bridge over whatever it is, just ridiculous. So in a way, the officer actually saved the police, which is, as we know, 1 week out, 1 week in, 1 week out, there's always an embarrassment of the police. In a way, by acting timid or dignified, whichever you want to qualify it, he kind of even saved because the police has gotten good PR from this,
Yeah.
Yes, because he didn't provoke any violence. He didn't hit Seun. He didn't bring a gun like some of them might have done and shot. All kinds of things that could have happened. He didn't get beat up either by Seun. There's so many things that could go wrong, and worse for the police. All that happened now was an officer was slapped by an individual, by a celebrity, and that's about it. So in the scheme of things that could go bad, he managed it decently, and now everybody say, "Hey, Seun, why did you do that? Why did you do that?" You get. So in a way, his behavior, the police officer's behavior, saved the police a lot of needs to start explaining whatever they're not supposed to explain. So at the moment, in the public opinion, most people believe that Seun did wrong, and they are entirely correct.
So we also found, and by the way, like this actually conversation is the fact that Seun has been released on bail from detention, and but that's not to say that the case is over.
No, it's
take
not, of
note.
course. You still go to
And I
court.
sort of saw the charge sheet for this particular case, and it has like about 12 counts of charges, which includes assaulting a police officer, obstruction of police duties, driving without a driver's license, driving with an expired vehicle paper, dangerous driving, act of capable breaching public peace, assault, attempted murder of a law. Can you imagine that? Attempted murder, I don't know, threat to life of a police officer. I mean, why do we have it attempted murder and then threat to life as well again? Okay, maybe they are different in threatening to.
Yeah, different.
Okay. Possession of substance suspected to be marijuana. I don't know why they're saying suspected, but somebody wants to smoke it to be sure.
Confirm it,
I don't know. Okay. Illegal distribution of substances suspected. So that one, I think they also went to his house, researched his house and stuff. And then there's also the case of illegal possession of firearms. Maybe they found a gun in his house. So I mean, look at all these charges. How is it possible, if let's say all things being equal, is it possible that Seun was going to get away with
all of them?
Half.
Not possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, just sometimes that's why anger, all this violence, something you just don't know. Just how better to just stop it,
Yeah.
Because you just don't know how far the other party is going to go. I keep saying that you are in some kind of quarrel with some other person, and in your own view, you feel like you can beat up this other person, and you go ahead and beat up the person. What you forget is that if the person is still alive, when the person dies, who's to say that the person would not want to come back with a higher level of violence than the one you had meted out to him or her? And that's how this thing just keeps going, in the need to express your anger and your own need for vengeance. You forget that the other person too might also want to express his or hers, and then somehow, then this one, I mean, that's even bad enough for when it's like an ordinary person. You now go and do it to the state. Oga, one of the first things you have to know as a human being is you cannot win the state. It's just not possible, especially not when you are caught on camera inflicting damage to the state, because that's kind of what the police officer is representing wearing the uniform. It's actually it's actually the state.
Yes.
So it's unfortunate, because Seun has had a lot of controversial takes in the past, and some of them have actually been reasonable, at least from his own perspective, But to go and hand yourself over into people that that don't like you before, you go and carry yourself and go and give yourself onto them. Own goal, my friend. Just a terrible own goal. Just terrible own goal.
Always, where people, we're moving on to the next story already. Have you seen is it young,
famous
and African?
Yes, or young African and famous. Young African famous, yes.
So, and then, generally, reality TV shows, when you watch something on a reality TV show, and then people start talking about it on the mainstream, or it goes viral in public, do you how do you feel about the situation? Okay, I hear you say something on a show, and then out here people are talking about it. Does it in any way mean that people are going out of line with their opinions about what happened or what they saw on TV?
No, but it depends on what they are saying.
Okay, so in this situation, Annie Dibia is not happy with telling people to stop talking about her marriage, and Nigerians and their opinions about her marriage, with Tubaba.
I think that is what she's expected to say. You attack me, you attack my family, I should say something about it. But to think that it will stop, nope, not gonna stop. Exactly. You're on a reality TV show. So it is geared towards gossip and conversation. That's kind of what
the show is designed to do, right?
It's designed to generate. So you're generating it. You might not be happy as a human being, but I can tell you, your producers are supernaturally happy. The platform that has that thing is incredibly happy, because there's only one reason why they came back for a second season. It is because they got what they're looking for.
Enough,
exactly. Yes. You get, and so you're like, what? Let's do it again. And we have to remember that the first one had a lot of anti-Two-Face and anti-Annie sentiments.
So, but this one thing is that I feel like they gave people this topic to talk about, because in the first season, I felt personally that, and maybe which is also the same thing I've seen a lot of people say, that she painted the picture, she was crying out or calling out her husband for inappropriate behavior or for cheating on her and how he's been treating her. I mean, according to the way it was portrayed on the show. In the second season, the same thing happened again. I mean, they had this particular incident where Tubaba was on the table with Annie.
Yeah, the one that's gone
two
viral.
other, yes, that went viral that everybody's seen everywhere.
About
and
how
it looked like, yeah,
you can love your woman and your penis is going somewhere.
do you understand the hair? And that really sparked a little conversation. And now, even no matter how long ago or how, you know, when this particular season was shot or when they wound up with the shooting, this conversation is happening now. I mean, imagine even if something happened at that time, and the couple are fine and they've moved on and they are good, and then now because people have started watching it and now people are still talking about it and gossiping and even mentioning and even trolling and insulting and, you know, and all sorts of, you know, negativity, backlash about that particular thing that they saw on TV. I mean, what do you think? How do you see? How else can this situation be, you know, be addressed or resolved?
No, nothing was addressed or resolved. Look, I said it that when the first one aired and people were saying all the same, I was like, like I said, I imagine that the producers are happy. I imagine that Annie is very pleased about all of the many comments she's saying. But the fact of the matter is that Annie decided to do or to join them for a second season. I feel like at that stage, anything when you see, you will take them. Exactly, you know. So, but I get it. You want to say something, but you also have to know, because in my own view, I figured, okay, when I heard that Annie and Two-Face were still a part of this second season, I was saying to myself, okay, so that means Annie clearly sat down, weighed the money she got from being on the show and weighed the insult she got from being on the show and decided that the money was a lot weightier. This is my hand, by the way. Was a lot weightier, you know. And so, because it was heavier, she would do it again. So, but I don't imagine that she figured that by doing it again, people are now going to be suddenly okay with her and her family. It was never going to be there. I think she'll be smart enough to know that, you know. So I understand that she says blah blah blah, but I feel like in her heart she also knows that I kind of signed up for this because nothing is different about the reaction that she's getting now from what she got with that first season. They're exactly the same thing. If she comes and do a third one, the same thing will happen. So, but to expect that people will stop talking because you said you should stop talking when your stuff is still on their platform day after day, okay, forget it. But yeah, but I feel like yes, that people, but I don't think again people are being entirely fair is not the word, pragmatic.
Okay.
I think that one of the things that celebrity or social media or reality TV gives us is like an insight into people's lives. Our own might be falling apart. You know, my own life will fall apart, you know, but the fact that I can see an Idibia and see them either going through the same things or even less than I'm going through or worse than I'm going, whatever the case is, in that particular moment my own issues have disappeared. What consumes me is these people's own issue. So suddenly I forget that I get my own issues. So let me focus on this particular person. So I think that's something that happens. And as the person who is on the receiving end, that's Annie in this case, I'm not happy. But I feel like she would come to terms with it that, you know what, if I did not put this out there, people wouldn't have responded like this. But yeah, I think as human beings, we are just happy to see somebody, especially people who they are prettier than us, they are famous than us, they are more rich than us, having this very human problem. Because let's face it, man and woman issue, where you're a married person, you can say it, you know, is a very complicated thing, you know. One size can never ever fit everybody.
No.
So even if Anne is going through whatever she's going through, part of the matter is that to her, she might believe that keeping a marriage, no matter what circumstances that is being kept, is more important to her than not keeping the marriage and having nobody talk about her life or maybe having them praise her non-existent love life. I think she's an adult. She has weighed it and said, you know what, I would rather stay with my man than not stay with him. Adult, she's chosen it. She has made her bed. She will sleep on it. Rest of us are making noise here. Who knows? Me, that's only I never married. So what can we say?
So what would you consider an unusual kind of collaboration when, you know, if you hear that certain artist collaborated with another one, what two artists would you say, this one was very
strange?
Yeah. I mean, generally, the movies that were, if we're talking about that whole viewers' choice thing. Kule Afolayan's Anikulapo was, which is where I now also looked at it. I just thought, okay, maybe we might just be fair. It was supposed to be on. It was on Netflix only. It wasn't even at the cinemas. It was a Netflix production, and DSTV did not say, or MultiChoice did not say, because this one was not around or did not come to our platform or whatever, we're not going to recognize it or award it. But it was awarded. But even with the whole viewers' choice thing, where we think that more of the younger generation will tilt towards a certain movie and type of actors and stuff or production, but they Anikulapo won that category over the ones that I mean, look, if the best actor of a movie, so okay, see, another thing I always look at, if the best actor of a movie came from a certain movie, it has to be, and in fact, plus director, plus many other awards that came from a certain movie. I don't see why the movie should now end up winning.
Yeah, but
and I also know that it does not work like that all the time.
Exactly.
But even at that,
yeah, but now I think actually this year both of them, Brotherhood and Anikulapo, I think were the front runners. Both of them actually got 5 awards each. Just that Anikulapo won the best overall movie.
Then
Meanwhile,
Oris.
Yeah.
Now, wouldn't you agree that what's his name? Kunle Remy. What's his name again? Kunle Remy.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Kunle Remy should have been nominated.
Look, again, I didn't think Kunle was the greatest actor ever. So I was not happy. I mean, when people said that, I'm like, I see what they're saying. I didn't feel one way or the other. Mine was just always that, look, for me, the 2 best performances of last year really needed to have been nominated, and they were. Blossom in The Trade, what's his face? Chidi in Shantytown, they were nominated. For me, that was enough. I don't really need more than that. For it was fine. Anybody else that entered that did not enter, is your business. I was fine, to be honest, So yeah, but the Kunle Remy one, I'm hearing all kinds of politics that happened with that, why he wasn't nominated. I don't know, but whatever the case is, it's unfortunate. But he's young, he will get another opportunity. For me now, I'm not really concerned that we need to create something else that is quality driven and not fan base powered. And hopefully at some point in time that would happen. Hopefully the brands can also understand why that is something that will be good to happen in Nigeria, as opposed to like always going towards the stuff that are like popular. Anyway, I think that's a great way to end this.
Peace,
and rest in peace to Tina Turner, who I think
passed at the age of 83.
Exactly.
On Wednesday.
And she won Song of the Year, I think, in 84, 85, 86.
About 12 Grammy Awards as well.
Yeah, What's Love Got to Do With It? I think it's a very good song. I don't like the third verse, but good song.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.